We are about to start our 2021 maple season. So excited. We have all the buckets ready, the lids, the taps all sanitized, and we're ready to go out there and start putting them in trees. Today it's supposed to get up as high as 4 degrees above zero Celsius. So they're going to be flowing, which is a great time to put the taps in because you know you got them right. We are in the northern fringe of the maple tree distribution in Canada, which is really cool that we're able to be this far north but still make maple syrup. Just north of us here is Pancake Bay. That is about where the transition zone is, where the dense maple forest turns into more of a birch dominated forest, which is pretty cool because who doesn't like a little bit of pancakes with their bowl of maple syrup?
It's time to strap snowshoes on our feet and get to work.
Are you ready, guys? You want to go start tapping some maple trees? Let's go!
First tree to tap of the year is always a special one, and it's this tree right here. It deserves a hug because it's so sweet. It's coming. It's coming. We better get a tap in there. There it is. And the pileated pecker pal is out. He's probably tapping trees too. How many have we done so far? 200?
Yeah.
No?
No.
10?
Maybe 20?
20? So like 60 to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Caddis likes to supervise in the woods out here. She just keeps an eye on things. Makes sure we're doing our job properly, not taking too many breaks.
Look at this tree. No, that one. That must be your grandmother.
Yeah, that's an old one. Nature's bat house right there.
So our forest here is probably maybe half maple. There's also a bunch of coniferous trees and birch. We actually sell this maple syrup. We're not just making this all for ourselves. We'll be selling maple syrup and maple sugar on our website as soon as it's ready. We found some of that chaga that we harvested 2 years ago. Right here on this tree, you can see there's been no regrowth in that area. So I think it's actually grown out here. So this hasn't grown from where we cut it, but it's pushed out from the tree. This was at the tree, I think, 2 years ago. It's still growing everywhere else. We'll have to compare some footage to the old stuff to see just how much it grew.
We use the old-fashioned bucket and tap method for our maple production. I don't know why exactly, because it's a lot of work. It's especially when we're approaching 100 taps and buckets that we put out. But it gets you outside at this time of year, which is really nice. Enjoy the first days of spring, the last days of winter, making something sweet.
So we ordered more buckets, but we didn't order enough proper lids in time. So I have what I call a redneck lid here. It's just a plastic plate that has a piece of wire through it that can cover the bucket. You might also be wondering why we have 2 taps in this tree. This tree is basically dead and it's coming down this year. So we're putting a couple more taps in just to get as much as we can out of it this year before we take it down. For instance, this tree. If you were to look up, you would notice that this tree is basically dead. There's a couple living branches on it. So there's still going to be sugar being shot up from the roots to those branches. So we thought, hey, if we're gonna kill it anyways, how about we put as many taps as we possibly can on the sunny side of the tree and just see how much syrup we can get out of it. We have this tubing that we put on our taps. We just have the regular taps, so we bought a thicker tubing to fit over them. And they're all feeding into this one 5-gallon bucket. As you can see, they're already flowing. So this tree is still alive. It's on its last legs, but it's still alive. And here's another tree that will be thinning out this year. It is also already on its last legs out. We set this up a little bit differently. We have 4 taps on it. It's a smaller tree. And then so we just have buckets, 2 taps per bucket because we couldn't fit 4 here. And some redneck lids here. Normally when you're tapping trees, the minimum diameter that you want for the tree would be 30 centimeters. If you want to put 2 taps in the tree should be 45 centimeters. And once you get to 60 centimeters diameter, then you can start putting 3 taps in a tree. In order to determine the diameter of a tree, it's not as easy as just looking at it. So you can get the circumference and then get the diameter from that, or you can get a DBH tape, which is a diameter at breast height. Either way you want to do this at about breast height. And since I'm standing on a whole bunch of snow, I would say that's about here. A little bit lower. I'm going to wrap my normal measuring tape around. And it is 98 centimeters. The circumference of a circle is 2 times pi times the radius. And so 2 times the radius is the diameter, and pi is 3.14 and some numbers. You can just approximate the diameter by dividing that by 3. So 3 goes into 98 about 33 times. And so this one is big enough for just 1 tap. It's actually handy that we have this redneck lid here because you can also use a dinner plate as a reference of a size that's big enough for 1 tap. Another part about taking these dying or almost dead trees out is allowing for more light to open up the canopy so we can let these smaller maples grow and they can be part of our sugar bush at some point.
Well, that was a long day in the sugar bush, that's for sure. We got about 65 taps in, so not too bad to start. It's like 5 degrees today. Just about every tap is dripping. That's good.
Yeah.
That's sweet, actually. That's today's video. Till next time. See you guys.